Hello, YouTube family. Welcome to another episode on Finance with Lance. And on this episode, I'll be talking about my top 5 dividend stocks to watch for 2026. And for those who don't know, dividends are discretionary cash paid from earnings, or you can say discretionary payments made to shareholders from companies, and it can also be paid in the form of shares to shareholders. Now, I have 3 criteria I use to choose my dividend stocks, and I'll be sharing that in a moment. I saw everyone making their top videos of 2026, and I say, why not join in on the fun? So I'll go more in depth on my next live stream where I'll talk about stocks to watch for 2026. But for now, I want to give a brief overview of my dividend stocks, and then I'll just share reasons why I put them on my list. Now, number one on before I share my criteria. So my criteria are: number one, they must have a history of paying dividend. Number two, they must be relatively undervalued compared to the market. And number three, they must have some growth potential in dividends or through their revenues and profits. So those are my 3 main criteria. A stock can be a good dividend payer, and I still not put it on my list because it have to meet all of those criteria. Now, number one on my list today is Jamaica, and I'll be sharing my screen a bit and going over this company a bit. Now, ticker symbol TGH. Jamaica dividend. As you can see with Jamaica, the dividend yield is around dividend yield is around 5% at the moment, 5.22%, and I think that's a good amount. But typically, Jamaica is a company that pays dividend yield up to 11%, but this is all dependent on the price. So, but I believe that the dividend yield will rise this year, maybe to 8%. And as you can look at the history for the last 5 years, so the company was listed, I believe, around 2019. But if you look at the history, they have been paying dividend from 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. So I can say it's a reliable dividend payer over the years. So I think this company is deserving to be on this list. And the other day, the company open another leg, or they will start to collect from another leg of toll. Let me pull up the article. So the company had announced earlier, back late, almost at the end of 2025, that they were about to begin collecting toll fee on the Maypen to Williamsville on December 27, 2025. This will add to their revenue, and because it's a constant dividend payer, I believe this will positively impact shareholders. And when it comes on to the price, I believe that the company is relatively or might be a slightly undervalued, or I'll be sharing on the screen back again regarding profitability. So currently the company has a return on asset of 12%, which is not bad. Return on equity 57.9, 57.9% return on equity, 13.58% return on total capital, and 57.90% on return on common equity, which is not bad. And I think this is a decent company. When you look to the price to earnings currently is at 10.5, which is also lower than the market average. So I think it's a good dividend company right now. But I might dive more in the next live stream. And as we know, Jamaica, if you don't know, this company is in the transportation infrastructure industry. They operate several tolls on the island. So this is a great company. It's a very good defensive stock. Now, second on my list today is Guardian Holding Limited. And I realize this company might be one of those companies that a lot of persons are missing out on. So I want to share my screen back and look a few reasons why I think it is a good dividend company. Now, Guardian Holding Limited is an insurance company. Provide insurance company, and they operate across the Caribbean, live, critical illness, and all those different type of insurance policies, and also general insurance too. Now, Guardian Holding has a dividend yield of 8.37%, which is also good. And as we can look at their history of paying dividend, let's see if the screen is shared. This company has a history of paying dividend too. Look at the last 5 years. Over the last 5 years, the company has been paying dividend. They paid 4 times in 2025, 2 times in 2024, 2 times in 2023, 2 times in 2022. This company has a good history in paying dividend. Now I'm going to look at the financials briefly also. Alright. Profitability. Return on assets 2.13%, return on equity 17%, return on total capital 9%, and return on common equity 17%. Solvency, I know this company is good. Total debt to equity 57%, and multiples. Look at their multiples. Price to earnings is at 3.9. This is probably one of the lowest. So yeah, this is a good company, I believe, if you want dividends this year. So that's another one. Third on my list today, but this is not really a stock that I say I personally would buy because of moral reasons, but nevertheless, it's I would say it's probably the best dividend paying company, but it's not a company that I really endorse. This is no other than Carreras. So this company is a marketer and distributor of tobacco products in Jamaica, and they have a dividend yield of 7.3%. And I know they pay dividend. Sometimes I know it's higher than this, maybe even 10%, but it's not, as I said before, it's not a company that I endorse is a distributor, but you know it's there on the stock market, so you can look at it if something that you would buy. Now, number 4 on my list this year is NCB Financial Group. I believe they will pay some good dividends this year, and I'm gonna look at their financial performance for the last year. So dividend yield right now is 5%, and I expect it to based on the price level, I believe it might rise. Now, dividend history, they resumed paying dividend back in 2023 after I believe a 2-year break, and they have been paying since. They've been paying constantly, and I believe they will continue this year also. We're going to look at their performance, profitability. Return on asset has risen to 1.56 from 2024, which was 0.96%. Return on equity is 15.87%. Return on common equity is 12.46%. And the multiples company is trading at the moment at a price to earnings of 4.1%, which is relatively low, which seems to be undervalued at the moment. So I believe this is a good dividend stock for this year, 2026. Number 5 on my list this year would be Scotia Jamaica. This company, as always, has been a consistent dividend payer, not at the 5%, but 3.43%. But they have a strong dividend history. They have been paying dividend 4 times, basically every quarter they pay the dividend, but not as high as the other companies. But I believe they have some growth potential this year. Look at their financials quickly. Financial multiples. One of the best performing bank in Jamaica, if not the best. Price to earnings 8.3, which is also lower than the market. Now, when I look at the profitability, return on asset is 2.69, return on equity 13.77. So it's also it's a good performing company for this year, and I believe I would add them on my dividend list. So those are my 5 companies for dividends. Let me know what companies you think I might be missing out on in terms of dividend. I might just take a look, who knows. But these are the 5 companies on my dividend watch list for this year. And I'll dive further in my live stream next week. But for now, stay tuned and look out for my upcoming videos and subscribe if you haven't. So this is it for today. Stay tuned.